This video is for surface area of a pyramid. And now parts of our pyramid we need to get to know here. We have a few labels. So we have the slant height, which actually leans up against the pyramid, right? So it's not completely vertical. It's kind of like leaning a ladder against a wall. Our regular height is straight up and down, and that goes pretty much to the center of the pyramid, depending on the shape that we have. We have lateral edges and lateral faces that are listed here. We're not going to worry too much about those, but the base is important. That base shape is going to determine what other area formula you're going to need. If it's a square, we can do base times height. If it's a triangle, it's half base times height. If it's a hexagon, we're doing half perimeter times apothem, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's take a look at an example here. We have our formula where it has 1/2 PL plus B, right? Now, you'll notice at the top there, the P is the perimeter of the base, the L is the slant height, and the B is that capital B, it's that base area, so the area of the base shape. Nice part is, for the problem that we're going to do, our base shape is a square. So, if we take a look at this pyramid, we have the height, which is 15. We have a slant height, which is 17. We need to figure out that bit here so we can actually figure out what our side length for our square is going to be. So we do have some Pythagorean theorem that we have to do. So we can take x squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared. So you have x squared plus 225 equals 289. So when we subtract 225, we get x squared equals 64. So our x is going to be 8. Now that is only half of the square. So our side of the square is actually 16. So for the perimeter of our square, we're going to add 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, or just do 16 times 4. So our perimeter ends up being 64. Our slant height is the 17, and then our base area, we're just going to take base times height, but that is base of the square times height of the square, so it's just 16 times 16, okay? So for this one, I'll put that here, 16 times 16 is 256. So, surface area for our pyramid is 1/2 64 times 17 plus 256. Okay, so we'll take this into baby steps here. 64 times 17, we're going to take half of 1088 plus 256. Right? So half of 1088 is 544. So we have 544 plus 256 gives you a grand total of 800. We don't have any units on there, so we're just going to write units squared. That's it. Right? The only thing to keep in mind is that your capital B is going to change depending on what that bottom shape is. So here it was a square. It could be a hexagon, hint, hint, for some of the problems that we might come across later. It could be a triangle, could be a trapezoid, whatever it might be. All right.